should open that up first there. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Smoking Room Podcast Live. Today, we're going to be joined by our special guest host. I think this will be his third or fourth time on the show, Mr. Soul Unscripted. Hang on, I just realized my Discord's on push to talk. I might want to take that off so he can hear me. Give me 1 second here, chat. There we go. And there we go. Welcome, Mr. Soul Unscripted. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What's going on? What's going on?
Cool. Did you want to do video today or just voice?
So because I switched to the two PC setup, it's like wonky. So
just keep it on the voice for today.
No, I'm gonna try to get on video right quick here. I don't
Okay.
know how successful it will be.
All
but
right.
we will see.
No
we
problem.
Will see.
So if you're new to the Smoking Room Podcast, if you didn't already know, this is the most scuffed podcast on all of Twitch. And yeah, we just kind of fucking rock out and do it as we do. So we're going to get Soul up on the screen here. And then I got a few topics. He's got a few topics. And we're going to go at it. But primarily, my big topics that I want to get into
We're good.
is the, gaming, you know, some the sports games industry. Here we go. Give me a second here. Let's get Soul on the screen. Give me 1 second, chat. I'm so bad at fucking Discord cameras, dude.
It's a weird way to have to get it into the
actual. Right. There we go. So we make you bigger. There we go. Right? Hang on. There we go. Now, is it popping up? Oh, it is too. There we go. Every time I have to readjust it too. Like last week, I felt so bad because I, not intentionally, but a lady in the night called Saturday, and old Dirty Wolf was up till 6 or 7 a.m. And then I realized, oh shit, I got a guest on the podcast tonight, and I got up and I didn't set the video up before, and scuffed, but chat knows. The chat knows. We're just having a good time. That's why it's called the Smoking Room Podcast, because just pour yourself a drink, roll yourself a smoke if you're in a legal state or country, and just chillax and listen to us. If this podcast was on any later on Twitch, this would probably be the podcast people would turn on just to pass out, go to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
true.
Cozy, chilling vibes. And then after the podcast, we get into Among Us, where the drunken wolf yells at everybody. But how you doing, my man? How you doing?
I'm good, you just relaxing, needing more sleep in life, but who doesn't, right? Who doesn't?
Amen, brother. Amen. I feel that on a lot of levels. What have you been doing with I noticed you just been kind of jumping around. You just waiting on them PS5 games, I'm assuming?
Yeah, just trying to figure out what I want to play, because I know in November I'll be doing the whole, PTSD awareness thing for myself. So I'll be playing a lot more Call of Duty just to, and then of course PlayStation comes out, so I'll be on the PlayStation a little bit more. So there's a lot of gaming going on in November, and I'm just trying to figure out how to balance it all.
Before we dive right into topics and stuff, do you want to kind of give a little shout out or a little rundown on your PTSD awareness month that you're doing?
Yeah, so, on the, I gotta remember the date, actually. On the second, what is it, not this Sunday, but the, whatever Sunday it is, because my computer is, there it is. It's the 8th. So on the 8th, I'll be doing my podcast on my PTSD and how it affected me, and how how I receive it, and how it affects my life. So what I'm doing is, so for the month of November, I'll be playing Call of Duty to try to combat that in a sense, but have some fun so people can see me go crazy. So
cool. Yeah, I see you played the Haunted Verdansk. I still haven't got on there, and I want to, because that shit looks fun. Is it only on, is it over after Halloween? Is Dunzoed, or how's that going to work?
Yeah, it's a limited time, so I don't know what the date is, but after so long it goes away.
Yeah, I got to get on that. That shit looks fun. what I'd like to do is, so I said this whole offline chat that I've had him on. This is what, maybe a third or fourth time? But
Yeah.
I'm always kind of coming up, I got these notes and topics, but I wanted to give him a chance if he would like to present a topic or two himself. But right before I do that, there's a couple things that, even though it was like 2 or 3 episodes that you were on ago where we did the in-depth of Soul Unscripted, the man himself, I got 2 questions that I missed that I'd like to ask that are pretty simple questions.
Okay.
The first one, as a streamer and content creator, do you yourself have any little vibes or rituals that you kind of do right before your stream, just to get the vibes up, to get the feel, get the blood, the adrenaline, the confidence, all that going?
Right. So for me, I have to take a nap before before even streaming. For podcasts, I have to take a nap so that way I have enough energy that kind of boosts me, and then I got to eat. Those 2 things have to happen before my stream, because if
Facts.
not, the energy is low and I'm just vibing. I'm chilling. No, regardless, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a good conversation. But those 2 things absolutely have to happen.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm all about the food. The nap part, I'm bad with because I do work during the day, and at the moment it is quite a physical job, so it's tiring. But like Fridays, see, I'll sometimes do that. I'll come home and I'm like, I'm gonna have a nap and then start to stream like an hour or so later, and I'll be able to stream later. But
Right.
typically what happens for me is because that nap is so short, when I get up from it, I'm even more groggy than when I laid down.
It makes sense.
So it's a weird balance I'm trying to find, but I feel that for sure. Yeah. Myself, I just got a little playlist I put on. It changes all the time, so I can't really tell anybody what the songs are, because this week it might be this song and next week it might be a different song, and I just kind of get in my head and get ready to go. Puff a couple doobies and pop an energy drink, get going, and let's rock and roll, baby. Get into the vibes and try to, maybe if I can get a couple jokes or organize some notes like today for the podcast. I usually always have notes for the podcast, so I try to get all that in order and reread and write them down, get them in my brain. I find taking notes and stuff, especially, even if you don't you keep the note, it just helps cement it in the brain so much better writing shit down.
Right.
Yeah, that was just a little. I forgot to ask our last guest that too, because it's just something I'm curious about, because I know that personally I'm a bit weirder of a guy than most people. I got all these little ticks I like to do before I do shit. But I just like to see if other people are like that, or if they got, something similar, or maybe something way different, but still, just a little pre-ritual kind of thing they like to do.
Right. Okay.
The second question I wanted to ask you, and this one I am relating with so much, and now maybe you were like this before streaming. Myself, I wasn't so much. I've always been kind of a one-screen kind of guy. I'm playing this game. That's the screen I'm looking at. I don't need anything else. But since streaming, as you know, that ain't how it goes. You're on that dual monitor. Get the fuck out, right? At least. And do you find, since doing that, because I find personally my attention span is completely shot. I used to love getting like a really intense story-driven game. And I used to like shutting everything out. I tell all my friends, don't come over, don't fucking call me. I'm vegging into this story because I want to absorb it. I want to know this story. And it is so hard for me now to have. So like the way my system's set up right now, because my PlayStation's running through my capture card, if I put my PlayStation on, I don't get audio from my PC, and I can't be like watching a second show. And after a little, maybe half an hour, I'm like, I can't do this. I need 2 things going on. It's really weird. How do you cope with that, or do you have that, or no?
So since it was like that before I switched over to the 2 PC stream, so now that I have 2 PCs and both audios from both PCs come through the headset, I'm able to do multitasking. So
nice.
That helps out a lot, because like before I started doing the multi-screen thing, one shot, one kill. I like to be focused on what I'm doing. And if I'm engaged in something, whether it be especially if it's a really good game that I'm focused on, like straight tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And so for the stream, it kind of works the same way, because after a while I'm like, okay, I gotta have somebody in Discord with me. I gotta have something to break the monotony of what I'm listening to, because it's the only thing I'm listening to.
Yeah. That's fair, yeah. Yeah, I noticed because I like for years, like even like my brother and them don't stream, but they had this thing where they would always be playing a game on one TV and watching a show on another. And I said, how the fuck can you do this? Like you're not absorbing 100% of either, right? And I just thought it was
Right.
so weird. And now that I've been doing this, I almost can't do it any other way. The only time I can is at night when I lay down with like an anime or something on the laptop. But
Right.
even then, a lot of times I'm watching that and still flicking through the Twitter or whatever on the phone, going through Discord. There's always multiple things. Now I do struggle with ADD a lot, and I shouldn't say struggle. Like ADD, believe it or not, can actually be very good, especially for people in our position trying to be a content creator. Because of this, we're able to focus on so many things at once. But yeah, it's really hard to just like, I'm gonna play God of War and not be on headset with anybody and just focus into the game. You almost feel bored.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, that's I noticed that, and to bounce off that real quick, it made me think of, we go back, let's say, 20 years, maybe even more. I feel like people didn't really have that. Like, it made me remember of like my uncle and ViewMaster Reels. Do you remember ViewMaster Reels, Soul? You know what a ViewMaster Reel is?
You got to educate me on it.
A lot of people in the chat are probably maybe too young for this. Well, actually, today we got an older chat, so they might remember. ViewMaster Reels were something I maybe should have looked up the exact date that they were made, but back in the day, you used to get this little thing, right? And it had two little eye holes like binoculars, and you'd get a reel. And it would just be like almost like an old school movie reel, but with just stills on it. And you'd pop it in, and you'd click the thing on the yeah. It changed the picture, and they'd have words, and they had Scooby Doo, like just everything, right? And my uncle, I had an uncle with Down syndrome, schizophrenia, all that. Basically, his whole life he was a big kid, right? Which was it was cool as hell, especially for us kids, right? Going to visit him, and he just. That was his best thing in the world. Just ViewMaster Reels. He'd go on a 10-hour car trip with the ViewMaster Reels, Scooby-Doo, Dukes of Hazzards. Every time you get to Daisy Duke with her legs up, he'd show you that. Hey, she got nice legs. That's what he said. He never ever comment on a woman's breast or ass. He would just show you and go, she's got some nice legs. Just so innocent. He had the eye. But I just thought, it's fascinating that something like that, ViewMaster Reels, were like, and I would imagine when they first came out was like a revolutionary thing, and it takes such little attention span to just. And nowadays we're like, I'm complaining about having 2 monitors, and there's motherfuckers out here with like 6 and shit. Like, I don't know how they do that, right? But yeah, man, it's pretty crazy.
That is. I mean, for me, like you say that, and I'm sitting here looking at 4, which 3 are only working.
Yeah.
But it's a little easier for me to maintain the stream that way. So that way, I have chat on one. I have a website that I can pull up on another. I got the actual thing that I'm looking at on the first one.
Oh yeah.
So I kind of balance everything out.
I'm rocking 2 at the moment, but I definitely need a third because I've got tabs and I'm flicking around so much, and But even at first, getting used to 2 was very difficult. I used to somewhat rock 3 because I used to rock my 2, and I'd have my laptop on the side for like chat and stuff like that. Or actually, I had a period of time where my chat in my Streamlabs did not work at all, so I had to have the laptop Twitch open to read my Twitch chat. It was kind of fucking stupid, and then it was extra delayed, but. Yeah, welcome to the troubles of Dirty Wolf. Anytime you can have a tech problem, I'll have that tech problem. But yeah, that's. I just wanted to start us off there. But if you got a couple topics you'd like to shoot out before we get into sports games and the bullshit that they're pulling this year. And maybe we'll talk a little bit about DMCA stuff. I don't know. We can maybe save that for another time because I got another guy that'd like to hop on. But we could touch on it brief if you'd like. But I'm going to pass the ball to you and let you propose a topic, my friend.
On the topic of gaming, like I want to know your take on some of the older consoles coming back, because I don't know if you heard Atari's bringing out a new console.
Now, are they bringing out like a brand new modern day console, or are they doing like the Nintendo Classic and Super Nintendo, like these little minis and shit that they're doing, right? Like the Sega and all that.
No, it's a basically a modern version to. I don't know if it's going to play what their old stuff is, but essentially it's their classic version of their classic games on a modern kind of type system.
Yeah, okay, but it's not like they're making like a new, like the Atari 2020, and they're gonna have like PS5 style.
Games.
Yeah, okay.
No shot.
I think it's cool. I think it's. I don't know. It's a 50-50 thing because I think on the side for some people, I don't really give a shit about it, obviously, and I assume that you're like, well, I don't know, like for certain collectors that collected these vintage, like you got guys out there with the. Oh, I got this Golden Zelda cartridge for the original Nintendo, and there was only 400 ever printed, and mine's in the box, so it's worth $8,000 now, but I'll only sell it for 20. I think that kind of kills a lot of that. Maybe not completely, because there is some people out there that still they're just collectors for the sake of it's on my shelf. I can flex. I feel like I got a big cock because I got a Golden Zelda cartridge, but. I don't know, man. It's as for the systems themselves, I think it makes the systems almost like worthless and obsolete. Like I remember, if you went back maybe 5, 6, how long has it been since the like Nintendo and Super Nintendo Classic, like the launch of the mini systems came?
That was like what, 3 years or so ago now.
So I think if you go 3 years before those first launched, finding those consoles in good shape, they were worth money.
They were 100%.
Now they're not worth shit. I can give a key example. Walking home, I walk through a crack alley every day, and there's a pawn shop, and they got a sign out front saying and it specifically said we pay big bucks for vintage systems with a picture of a Super Nintendo, 64, GameCube, all that. So I walk in and I ask them, how much do you buy Super Nintendos for? Because I got a Super Nintendo, I really don't want to part with it. But I also I'm a little short on some cash for PS5, and I'm just pricing stuff out.
Right.
But it holds a lot of nostalgic value to me. So for me to actually part with my Super Nintendo system, even though I can play with all those games on the Switch, it's worth a lot more to me than what. So he goes, well, what depends what games? I go, well, no, just how much the console itself. About $40. Yeah, no, my first childhood console and the nostalgia that comes with is worth a lot more than $40 to me.
Yes, 100%.
100%. So I think now if this was 3 years before that Super Nintendo Mini dropped, they'd be worth more.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I guess all in all, my true opinion is if they come out and they're not like crazy priced, like if they're pretty cheap, I think it's kind of cool, Yeah. There's some people out there, like let's say somebody like my dad that grew up with an Atari or something, and he don't have his Atari no more, and maybe he just wants to, like me, have a smoke and chill out and play some fucking Pong. He can do that and hook it up to his modern day TV, right?
Right. Because like, even if you try to get the kids to play it nowadays, like gonna be like, what am I playing?
Yeah, yeah.
What is this? I can't save it.
Well, a couple of years back, before they even did like the NES and stuff, they put out those like Pac-Mans that just hook direct to the TV with the color codes, and I think initially those did really well, and I think it was a really smart idea. Because the other thing is, mind you, I never really played Atari much. I was a bit before my time. I played a lot of the OG Nintendo and Super Nintendo.
Right.
I think I played Atari once at a friend's when I was like it's too young now to even like really remember. But I don't know how easy it would be to even hook an original Atari up to a modern day TV, right? Like because a lot of the hookups we have nowadays are so much fucking different than back then, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I think for a lot of people it's pretty good as long as they're not like slapping some ridiculous price tag on it. Like I think like $300 for that is too much, probably.
Too much, yeah, way too much.
Now
no one's gonna buy that.
You pop that out for like $100, something maybe 150, depending on 150. If it has every Atari game ever made, people probably gonna jump on that, and I think that's not bad.
I'm not even gonna tell you what I'm looking up the price now. Because they call it a PC/console hybrid, right?
Oh, really?
The MSRP for this, right, is $399.99. I'm not buying that.
What?
I'm not buying that. I don't really care what's it like. No, I'm glad to be able to play the old school games. I'm all for old school games, but there's no way that I'm going to pay $400.
I think I lost some brain cells right there. Holy shit! What?
You said that, and I had to go look at the price. And I'm just like, no.
What was the Nintendo and stuff? That was only like $100 or something.
$100, yeah.
Yeah. What? So it's a PC console. I'm gonna have to look this up. What's the PC part of it? Why is it so expensive?
I have no.
Is this
I
a
got
fucking
now.
graphics card you hook into your computer that just also comes with all the Atari games? Because then maybe
No,
okay.
no. It has Windows 10 on it. It's just weird. It almost is like a blue Raspberry Pi, in a sense, and built into a console, because that's all those little systems are, like little
Yeah,
Raspberry Pis. So I don't understand why this would be $400, but there's no shot
that's
that I'd buy it.
crazy. What? And why does it have Windows? I'm so confused. That's just mind baffling. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
It's amazing. That's crazy. There's no way that they're gonna sell that.
it. Must do something else fucking crazy because I don't even know what to say. I'm so speechless.
Yeah.
But what?
Yeah.
Chat,
Yeah.
chat, for any of my really old boomers in the chat, demo it if you're listening. You probably know this. How much did Atari cost back in the day, the OG Atari?
Shucks. I don't even remember. My mom bought mine, so I
Yeah.
couldn't even tell you how much it cost.
With inflation and stuff, it'd be different, but
Yeah.
I don't. What? Like,
Yeah. That's all you can say to that.
I'm
Like,
shook.
It's cool for
I'm
the nostalgia because it has the original joysticks and everything, but not for $400.
no shot.
Not for $400. No.
Holy.
I don't care what games I can play on it.
Well, that's got me so mind baffled. I almost think before I toss the ball back in your court for another one, maybe we should go into the main one because this is also mind baffling.
Yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's do it.
Sports games of the next generation. So as everybody in the chat I'm sure knows, this fall we see the next gen of consoles with the new Xbox, which irrelevant, Omega lol, no one cares. PS5
all day.
Oh,
PS5 all day.
Some random guy on Twitter I saw, he did a poll today. It was like, who's buying PS5, who's buying Xbox, who's buying both, and who's buying none. None and both only had 6%. I forget what the Xbox was, but I know the PlayStation was like over 80%. And it's just like, even if it's a random Joe, I think it's just like it proves that PlayStation.
No way.
Yeah, no. Mind you, Xbox has kind of said they're hinting at maybe doing their own version of Stadia with their Game Pass, but that's for another time. What I want to talk about is what the fuck does the sports game industry think they're doing this year? When I remember when PS3 was coming out, okay,
right,
and then even PS4, I wasn't playing sports games as much then, though, but I saw some of the innovations that they were doing with the new console. With PS3 and Xbox 360s, the innovations that they made to sports games were crazy. I remember like Madden 07 or some shit like that, like when they first introduced the hit stick and stuff like that, like everything was so game changing, so innovative.
Right.
This year, we've got two big ones that I want to talk about, and there might even be more chat. But first of all, let's start with, how do you, Mr. Soul Unscripted, feel about unskippable advertisement screens in the beginning of your video games?
That annoys me. Like, because for one, I'm not a big fan of cutscenes to begin with. So for ads to be unskippable, I cannot. That annoys me to no degree, because I mean, I get your advertising, but that's ruining my gaming experience because I can't skip that. I'm ready to get into gameplay. I'm not here to look at your ads. Like, no.
Well, the game company 2K that bought the contract to have the only NBA games, because before there was competition between them and EA, and then 2K took it over. And everyone praised them so much. Now for NBA 2K21, they've brought back the unskippable ad screen. And yes, chat, I say brought back because for those who don't remember or didn't notice, this was a feature that was originally added in NBA 2K20, but got so much hate from the fans, was instantly removed. But 2K, for some reason, thought, it's been a year, maybe they forgot about that, let's try it again. And they have put an unskippable ad screen in the game, but they say, do not fret, because with all future updates of the game, they will update the advertisements in the ad screen, so you won't be watching the same ad your whole game life.
That's ridiculous.
Right?
There's just no way I would want to play that. I just would not.
Where in their right fucking mind? They tried this once, and it failed completely. And here's the thing that bothers me the most. This is NBA we're talking about. This entire game is an ad. When
It's
you're
ad.
running up and down the court and there's fucking Coke flyers in the stands like a real game, you don't think
Right.
that is an actual paid advertisement? You think they're just trying to paint the stadium? No
Right.
shot. That whole game is so full of ads, and now they want to blast you with a full-on advertisement screen.
That's crazy. Like you said, I mean, it already has enough advertisements as a whole. Like you said, the billboards, the apparel that the NBA players are wearing, the shoes, like all of that's all advertisement. We don't need another advertisement on top of the advertisements that are already placed into the game.
Right?
Like, I don't even understand. I guess I don't. The company makes enough money as is. So to add these, like, I don't know if they're hurting for money or they don't have enough revenue coming in, or I don't know what it is, but there's no need to add that extra feature into it, because it's like, unless the advertisers or who these companies are forcing their hands, that's crazy. You're gonna lose so many users or players because they don't want to deal with that.
Right? Yeah, like it's just. And I could only imagine, like I was just ranting about, the whole game is full of ads. I can literally only imagine what like the dynasty modes in those games are like, you know, when you're like the team owner and you're in a meeting and, oh, look at this Voss water bottle or whatever, on the whole fucking thing. And then for them to put this, and the other thing that's really I think annoyed a lot of players is because one of the newer features they've added into the game is that during the load screen, you can actually like make tweaks to your lineup. Like you can do customizations while the game was loading. But now there's a fucking advertisement on top of that you can't skip. So that new feature that's supposed to be so fucking magnificent is blocked.
Right.
By their own stupidity.
That's crazy.
It's madness.
Just that a way to get more money out of something, I guess. I don't really know. Like, who's even tracking that advertisement? Like, what like, I can understand if it was like a live stream, unless they're doing it because of the streamers, and in which case, you know, the big streamers, they're playing the game, and you're forcing this advertisement to come up. Now, mind you, Twitch already has enough advertisements as is,
and it's only going to get worse.
Right, and now you're adding the fact that these big high-name 2K players, they're going to play the game. That means you're forcing another advertisement because they can't play, and everybody that's watching, how many other viewers you have, now have to watch another advertisement. So that's just too much, way too much.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, really, and it really scares me for the future of gaming in general. Because, sorry, I'm just trying to get the thing up here for our next topic.
No, you're good.
Because, like, okay, sports games is one thing. I don't really play a lot of sports games, whatever, right? But now, what if they, you know, I don't think like any games like Zelda or something like that for a while will have something like that. But let's take a game like Genshin Impact, for example. A newer game that's coming out with free-to-play mechanics. They don't have the backing of Nintendo for being like a legacy game for the past 25 years. What's to stop them from, in loading screens, having an advertisement? Because they'll go, well, it's a loading screen anyways. Nobody pays attention to loading screens. They don't like them. We've got them down to 20 seconds now. So what if we put a 20-second ad in there? And I think that feeling, even though loading screens are ass, I'm sure the whole chat can agree that they're ass. Some games put a cool artwork in there, whatever, but for the most part, I would still rather have that cool artwork or a blank fucking screen with a white circle spinning in the bottom of it than a fucking goddamn shoe ad or something like that.
Yes.
Pardon, I'm going off with the swear, but this whole thing, it gets me fuming, because the last thing, let me tell you, the day my life is actually completely ruined is when I load up Zelda and before the theme music plays, I see, make sure to get your Nikes today at Sports Check.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I instantly turn the game off. I'm done. I just don't have.
I'm gonna become a chess streamer if that happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mobile game streamer.
Board games. I play board games too.
Actually, mobile games are just plagged with ads already, so I guess
They
it wouldn't be much
100%
different.
are.
But at least I'll give them that most mobile game ads are just ads for their mobile games. It's annoying, but But I feel like I don't know exactly what the ads in the NBA game are. I would imagine they're probably somewhat related to the sports, like probably a Nike ad or what, like you were saying before, apparel ads and shit like that. But it's still, I just feel like it's so unappealing and just such a turnoff to be in the middle of the game in a zone and then just bam, like, ad, here you go. And then it's like that hype and everything you've got for like the little cutscene that's going on for what's going to happen next is all killed by a stupid ad.
Right.
Literally, the reason why Twitch and YouTube and everything is getting so big is because people got sick of cable TV and garbage ads being thrown in their face all the time.
Right.
So the gaming industry wants to follow that. A little confused.
Yeah. Let's just hope that this doesn't segue into other games doing it, like Madden. EA better stay away from that. Like,
well,
Madden.
I can see EA and all other sports games. If NBA can get it to pass and still make the sales that they sell with this game with the ads in it, I think in sports games you're going to start to see it become a regular within the next couple of years. Other games like God of War and stuff like that, I think we've got some time. But I think personally, and this is just opinion, I got no facts on this, but I think the sports games will be the first to do it. I think the very big commercial shooters like Call of Duty and games like that will be the next. And then RPGs and stuff last. Yeah, or indie games trying to get like a funding behind them,
Yeah, that would make sense too. Those indie games, that would. I mean, if whatever company gives you a slice of money because you're running their advertisement in the game, that makes sense.
Oh, hey, you guys just worked 4 years on this game and you don't know if you're going to make any money from it. You put 4 years of your life. Here's $50 grand. Well, it'd probably be a lot more than $50 grand. I'm lowballing it, but yeah. So it's unfortunate. I hope it doesn't spill over too far, but fingers crossed, I guess is all we can do, right?
Right.
Speaking of EA, though, now, mind you, everybody bashes on EA, and I used to be one of those people. I was like, I don't get it. Everyone bashes on them. They put out some good games. I like some of their games, but it's time for Dirty Wolf to hop on the hate train. I've kind of actually been on it for a minute, but just not as hard as everybody else. But this one, so I've always had a thing against FIFA. Don't get me wrong. The gameplay is fun. Like I don't watch soccer. I don't give a crap about soccer. But when you turn on the sports games that I like is NHL. And FIFA is kind of the closest to. It's got a similar feel, kind of, right? Right. More so than basketball or Madden. I used to like the Madden games, but I just kind of, yeah. So FIFA 2021 and EA, the shamelessness. Chat, come on, everybody, say it with me. Shamelessness on the. So, how do I want to start with this? I'm going to say it like this. I think what unlucky intern was forced to make all the shirts box art this year for sports games. Yeah, that's true. Very true. Yeah, they got some weird pictures out there sometime for sure. I just realized I got all of the chat is in right in my face. I'm gonna turn the chat off the screen for now, guys. I think EA. They went last year. They go, we got the top selling sports game. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Chad or Soul. I'm pretty sure FIFA is the number one selling sports game.
I'm sure it is.
Every year.
I don't think there's another game that's out there that's outsells FIFA.
And the loot box system that they have in there, whew, we're talking billions of dollars, chat.
Yeah.
Billions. Mm-hmm. These kids are going off buying it's like cards to get the soccer players.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like it's a similar situation to Madden because they had to do the same thing for Madden.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's all EA, right? So they're just following suit. Mm-hmm. So this year, not only are they still, they got the cards, they're going full shameless. They go, I think they sat around the meeting. They go, our game sells so well. FIFA 2020 sold so well. Why don't we just sell FIFA 2020 again next year? And I say this because if you go to the Nintendo Switch website and look at the pre-order for FIFA 2021, I'm going to read you and the chat word for word. The gameplay description of FIFA 21 Legacy Edition will feature the same gameplay innovation from FIFA 2020 without any new development or significant enhancements. That is what EA's description for their game says on the Nintendo Store. Let me repeat that one more time, just for everybody who, if you couldn't catch your breath or believe what you just heard. Gameplay, wow. FIFA 21 Legacy Edition. My Legacy Edition is like the deluxe, the $120 edition. And also, mind you, let me state one more time before, that this game is going to be on PS5, a new console from the game that FIFA 20 was on. FIFA 21 Legacy Edition will feature the same gameplay innovation from FIFA 20 without any new development or significant enhancements. The game is the exact same. All they've done is update the roster.
Then you should have just updated. Just send a pack out for the updated roster. That's it. Don't sell the game again.
But now they can sell the game not only at $70 because, well, I'm talking Canadian prices here. They can now sell it for $89.99 because it's going to be on PS5. And guess what? I looked up the pre-order. It is one of the games Ubisoft, God bless their hearts, and a couple other game companies said our first releases for PS5, we're going to keep the same price as PS4 games just to ease people into it. No, these sons of bitches went all in. They said, we're charging the new price for the same game on a new system, not enhanced at all. These guys are the biggest meme lords on the internet.
That's trifling. That's so trifling. Like, why would you do that to your fans?
And the most shameless part is they're not hiding it, nothing. It's on their thing like, hey, we got a new menu, we got a new roster, but the same game. You love that game. You know you want to give us your money, you dumbasses. And you know what? I almost want to feel bad for these people, but I can't because I know that even with this knowledge, most of them will still buy this game.
Yep, of course.
It will probably still be one of the highest grossing games of 2021.
Of course. Because your fans are your fans. Like they will. It's just like it's like any other company, like Apple, whether it be Apple, Samsung. You have your diehard fans, and your diehard FIFA fans will always. They're going to pump money into the company, just like Madden. 2 games.
It's just madness.
It is crazy.
I'm gonna tell chat something. Chat, do you know what the definition of insanity is? The definition of insanity is repeating the same actions over and over and expecting a different outcome. FIFA 21 is the definition of insanity. Joe the Fridge says, FIFA addiction is real. I played FIFA through 12 to 16 and must have spent thousands and thousands of hours. I could believe it. I see people. I got other buddies that are into it, but I just think, like, is the addiction so real that you would pay $89 just for the new roster, or would you just play FIFA 20 knowing it's the exact same game, no graphic enhancements, anything?
Nothing. I mean, don't they give you the roster updates anyway on the game? Because I know that
probably not now. I think that they used to, and they actually stopped it probably a year or so ago, probably with the intention, knowing that this was going to happen.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
Yeah, we were talking about that, Joe. They got the lottery card system, and it is nuts. People spend a lot of money on it, and I know that it is super addicting for, like, people that are into soccer and into the game, and it is a good game. Like, the gameplay mechanics of FIFA for a sports game are good, but I just think this wouldn't even actually bother me as much as it does if it was still on PS4. It would still bother me, but the fact is, chat, we're going into a new generation of consoles. Like I said before, the difference between the FIFA, the Madden, the NHL, all those games from PS2 to the versions that came on the PS3 and Xbox 360 was insane. They were so game-changing. And, like, this, I think, is just so sad, man. Because when I was a kid, like, even though I wasn't a huge sports game fan, I still got hyped for some of them, seeing these epic changes. I still bought a couple Maddens, and I used to buy NHLs all the time. But these kids get no enhancement, and they're still going to be so hyped. And I think it's just kind of sad, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If I still played FIFA, I would buy the new one just because that's what everyone moves on to. As soon as a new FIFA comes out, the previous one is a ghost town. Oh, yeah.
He's 100% true about that. Like, that's so tragic, though, man. It's like forcing your hands to move to something new that's not new. That's so crazy.
Right, and Call of Duty
Ah,
kind of almost has that, but we're getting back to the generation of where when Black Ops comes out, Modern Warfare will still have as many players or more.
right.
Because COD used to even be like that. A lot of people used to always play a generation behind. The maps or the servers for the original Modern Warfare, when it was still Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, they stayed up until like almost Black Ops 2. Or no, they were up after Black Ops 2, sorry.
Right.
Yeah. No, Joe, I get it. Like I got friends too that were addicted to like FIFA, and I got people, addicted to. You can get addicted to like any game like that, like like not even just FIFA, but I just think like that's just, and it's not on the people, it's the EA themselves that literally like. They're just fucking these people. They know these people love this game so much. They're so passionate about this game. They love this game. And they're giving them dog shit. They're letting them down. And you know what? It's almost like a Star Wars moment because it's like the Senate is going to die with fucking glorious applause, I bet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I gotta hand it to IGN. Sometimes they do some really cringe shit on YouTube, and then sometimes they do some good shit. When they put out their review for FIFA 21, they just copy and pasted their review from FIFA 20. They just reposted it.
That's perfect, though.
I know people think it's cringe when you talk in emotes, but that's a PogChamp, chat. That's a big PogChamp. But yeah, man, just the audacity. I know I said this before, but I got to repeat one more time, chat. A new console generation and no innovation. Hey, you have new tech and hardware you can build your game on. Yeah, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah, not at all.
Oh, man.
Screw you. You're gonna play this old game, and you're just gonna love it.
Yep. And
that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get our money, and next year we may or may not put something else new in there. But you might get the old stuff. But
yeah.
It's the 21.
Yeah. No, well, you know what next year's going to be? It's FIFA 2022. FIFA 22 with the same here, let me welcome to FIFA 22 Legacy Edition will feature the same gameplay, innovation from FIFA 20 without any new development or significant enhancements except for we're adding in the entire Nike lineup of shoes from 2021. Congratulations.
That's crazy.
Sorry, go ahead.
You're absolutely right. They're not gonna add anything new, and everybody's gonna like, oh, game. It's the same shiny polished piece of shit that you brought out last year. So,
it's crazy, but the reason why that scares me is we've been getting, me and you talked on a previous episode of we're in the era of reboots and remakes, and some of them have been class, man. Fucking pure quality. Resident Evil 2 remake. We got the Demon Souls coming out, which looks absolutely fantastic. And what if some of these game companies start getting that idea? Hey, man, people haven't played Black. I don't know if you remember Black. I was before Call of Duty. It was an amazing shooter. They haven't played that in 10 years. We could just bring it back with the same graphics. It'd be PogChamp.
PogChamp all day, and we'll charge them $50, $60. They'll pay for it, right?
Well, that's the killer too. That they're upping the price, and then that to go back on the Atari thing. That's like $3.90.
Bananas.
Chat, remind me when we're in just chatting one day. We're gonna go on a Google search here on stream and look that up because I gotta look into that. I gotta write it down even because my mind is still just blown and twisted. But now that now that I've ranted and went off on my sports game rant, I'm gonna bounce the ball back to you. Did you have another one that you wanted to bring up?
Not off the top of my head. Like,
no, okay.
I'm just blown by the whole EA thing.
Right? It's mind-boggling. Now, what I'm about to say here is a bit of an oxymoron, but it's more just I just want to know what you think because you're down in the States, correct?
Yep.
So this affects you a bit more than affects me, but how do you feel about the political shift on Twitch? I don't know if you know about some of it here, but so they had I'm so ignorant too to some of the names. AOC, she goes by on Twitch. She streamed the other day with record numbers, I might add.
She did.
And then 2 nights ago, we had the final presidential debate, United States presidential debate, and of course, all the political streamers streamed it. And we had Hassan Abi, who this year has been the fastest growing streamer on Twitch on all the platform, hitting, I think, maybe 120K or something like he was way up there. The last time the debate's on, XQC turned it on and actually beat him for a bit because it's XQC and everyone was just like, he's actually watching the debate. But this time he dominated it. And now I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but maybe I'll save that. I'm going to circle back to Hassan, but go on to you. How do you feel about this, and what do you think it does for, Twitch, and do you think it is going to have an effect in your guys' election? I'll just let you kind of shoot away on whatever you got to say about it.
I think, it's good that, that they're bringing the actual political awareness. Because if you think about it, there are more eyes on Twitch right now.
Young eyes, especially.
Yes. So to get them more interested in politics is cool. It's as long as it's a healthy debate, if they're going to talk about it, and if you're going to bring awareness, as long as it's healthy, because once it starts getting toxic, then that's when you kind of start losing the gusto from what you're trying to do. Like, you're trying to get everybody to vote. Cool. AOC, she played with Pokemon in them in Among Us, which is awesome, because there's not many times that you'll see political figures just reaching out to the public.
It brings a relatability.
Right. Just bringing it down to our level. Like, she's streaming as if she's like a regular person, where we see them in a light that they're just making laws and then doing this, that, and the third. But for them to come down to our level and actually show us that they're real people, that's cool. I don't think that's a bad thing. At the same time, though, if you're gonna, as long as when you're streaming those debates and things like that, you're gonna, because everybody, that's the biggest focus right now. For the next 2 weeks, that's the 100% the biggest focus. We still got other things going on, baseball games and finals and things like that. But really, the biggest focus is this, because it's a big thing going on. So as long as the conversation is healthy, I don't mind it at all. I don't mind that stuff happening, but it has to be a effective and healthy communication, opposed to trolling and just being very toxic. Then there's no good on your channel.
Yeah, no, I agree. And to bounce off that, to bounce around where you started, I think with, like you said, bringing the awareness and the eyes on Twitch and the young eyes, like, I'll admit, like, even with my own Canadian politics, and chat can cap me or whatever, and this and that, I don't give a fuck. I don't know anything about it. I'm ignorant to a lot of it. And sometimes I wish I did know more about it, because that's why I don't bring it up, especially on my podcast a lot, because to go into kind of what you were saying, I think the other thing too is, of the people that are going to be streaming it and stuff like that, they have to be an informed person. Right. Like an idiot like me having it on and talking out of my ass about stuff that I have no idea about is not healthy in any way, right? Because that's how misinformation gets spread. Right. And stuff like that. But yeah, I do think the awareness aspect is definitely really cool. I think that maybe, if I was on like Twitch when I was young like that and stuff like that was there, maybe I would be a little more informed or be more apt to get a little bit more involved with stuff like that. Chat's just having a field day over here. What
I noticed. I noticed.
But maybe that's their hint that they don't like the politics subject. But but yeah, well, we'll move on. I thought it was all very interesting, and I like Turtles 2 Exodus Live, and I have a belly button. I think it was very cool, and I think bringing the awareness to the young people, and especially in a healthy way. And her and there was another congresswoman, I believe, also that played. I'm bad with all the names, but bringing that relatability too, of them like coming down and playing with, people just like these streamers and stuff like that and shouting them out was very, very cool. Yep. So, because there was a lot of people, not just Pokemon. Pokemon was there, Myth, Hassan Abi, XQC.
Lupo was there, I believe,
as
well.
My man Trainwreck TV even was invited. He didn't play, but hey, imagine that big squad W playing in the big leagues. I love that. I love it. But to bounce off that, to circle back around to Hassan Abi, I don't know if he, I don't know if this was related to it or not. So the very next day after the debates, Borat 2, I'm sure as you know, was released on Prime Video. And Twitch yesterday went wild with the Borat 2 watch parties. And never in my life have I seen this. I saw Hassan Abi at 96K viewers in an Amazon watch party.
That's crazy.
And it's not because watch parties are a bad idea. I think watch parties are great and they're really, really cool. But only people with Twitch Primes and have them integrated can join.
Join it. Yep.
So to have 96K people watching that with you.
With Twitch Prime, though.
Yeah.
The amount of subscriptions that he got just off Prime. Oh my God.
Well, I know during the debates he hit over 30K subs, so that's
crazy.
That's a PogChamp chat.
That is very PogChamp.
I think the record is Ninja with like 50 or something the one month when he played with Drake.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Asmongold's hit 30, I think, before too, but Asmongold's insane.
Yeah.
We're having a watch party of your stream right now. Yeah, but no, there's a thing now on Twitch called Amazon watch parties where viewers like you, Pretty, that have Twitch Prime, and I have my Twitch Prime integrated, which is pretty awesome, and this is what my actual topic about this is about. I just kind of wanted to say that. We can watch stuff together, stuff that you normally can't watch on Twitch. So if I go on YouTube right now and we pull up a scene from Jackass where they show his cock flopping, I will be banned.
Sure.
But
100%.
If we go into Amazon Watch Party and watch Jackass 3 and pause and rewind the cock flopping, we're fine. We can sit there and point and say, there's a floppy cock and laugh and not be banned. And it's pretty crazy. It's pretty cool. But it brings up a question. It's a little political, maybe not. But with all of the Twitter cancel culture cucklords out there,
right?
Where is that actual question? I don't think I need to find the note. So do you think that there is some of these people out there now? So a great example would be Borat 2. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure we've all seen Borat 1 or parts of it. And there's a lot of stuff in Borat that some of these Twitter cancel cucks would deem that's offensive. Now, let's say a streamer laughs at a joke that one of these Twitter or Reddit, cancel lords, LSF losers deems offensive. Do you think that they could get canceled for that? Do you think that's the next wave we're going to see?
That's been a wave for a while now. Like you said, like just people are now, like back when we were younger, people weren't getting offended as easy as they are now, and so you just kind of got to tiptoe around what you say or do, unfortunately, because it can come back to haunt you at the end of the day. So there's always going to be that fear of the cancel culture being a thing, because no matter what you do, like you can laugh at it now, and everybody in your chat will be laughing at it together. But say you now hit a pinnacle where you've got 20,000 people and you're at the top of your game, and somebody's hating, they'll just go back to that clip, and bring awareness to it, which it just makes no sense to me, because people find different things funny, and I'm not going to sit here and agree with everything. I don't say everything is funny. Some stuff is not, but whatever they find funny is funny. But there's no need to get offended or take things too offensively. Don't take it so personal.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people do.
Well, especially like if you're talking like these ones where these people are getting canceled 10 years down the line, like James Gunn. Oh, like that's why Guardians 3, Guardians 3 would have been out already, chat, but these Twitter cucklords screwed that. We're still going to get it, but just like 3 years later than what we would have. And that's all because of that. And I think for me, the big thing is who was that person then and who is that person now? Everybody thinks that, like me, for instance, like there's people in the chat that know me personally and have known me my whole life, and they will tell you this wolf is not the wolf he was 10 years ago.
Right.
I'm not even the same wolf I was 5 years ago. Where, as people, I mean, if you're someone half decent person anyways, you grow and you evolve as years go on. And certain things, I'm not going to lie. I'll be the first to admit I played Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare online religiously. I said stuff that would for sure get me canceled now. I said stuff that I would never say now because I think that it is disgusting language. But that was then and this is now, and that's how I've grown. And, you have to grow and know that, like back then maybe I didn't realize it because I was living in a different period or with different, influences around me. But as you grow and evolve as a person and have more experiences, you learn maybe talking like that is wrong and was wrong. But that was then, and I'm going to do my best to not be like that now and be better for the future. And I think if you can see that in people, like, we've all made mistakes. And a lot of these people that are out there trying to cancel them, like on Reddit and stuff, are the people that are in those Discords at 3 a.m. and they're saying all the shit that would get you, hung like the witch, canceled, but they're like, right. but they're not getting caught, Right. So, yeah, it's a weird one. I just wonder about that with the content that they're allowed to stream on Amazon watch parties, if that will be the next threat. Like, Dirty Wolf watched The Boys on Amazon watch party and laughed when a baby exploded or whatever. Something like that happens. And I'm like, that's pretty cringe, bro. Right. Babies exploding and laughing or whatever. Like, it's, I don't know. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, that's your chat has been good. Your chat is hilarious.
Oh, I know they are. They're having a good time. There was a talking penis in Bruno. Yes, there was. That was interesting, to say the least. Yes. Exodus Live says you're still a dirty bitch. So a whole new wolf. Yeah, we got to sing it like the Disney song though. It's a whole new wolf. Joe the Fridge, he says people love being offended. A good story was there was a comic on the JRE saying he told a joke about gay black people and he told it where there was a bunch of gay black people and they love it. He goes to a college and says the same joke and gets canceled by a bunch of snowflakes. Yeah, well, and that's see, I think especially with jokes like that, like I don't know, like that's a whole nother topic in its own. Maybe we won't get into, but like with comedians and stuff, it's like so hard. Honestly, I applaud a lot of stand-up comedians, dude, because
100%
totally fucking shit. Not like I applaud them on so many levels because do get up and do stand-up comedy is actually fucking insane. People don't realize the pressure you have. A rock band, you've got 3 other guys there supporting you. A orchestra, you've got 50 other people there supporting you, all the shit. But when you're a stand-up comic, you don't have backup music, you don't have nothing. You go up there, the crowd is silent, and you've got to make them laugh, and that shit is intimidating as hell. But
first joke goes off wrong.
Yeah,
crickets.
And a lot of them, like I've even heard like Tom Green, who's a legendary comic, for. Like he said his whole entire first year he bombed. Like his whole first year getting up on stage, he bombed, but he still had to keep going and keep going. Pretty says, remember when you were a DJ? Yeah, it's the same thing. All this shit, there's all that pressure. But I think like even a DJ is easier than a stand-up comic because like music is a different effect. When there's music playing in the room, there's distraction. When you're a stand-up comic, people clap, you get on the stage, they shut up and they go, all right, make me laugh, bitch. Say something funny. Say something funny, funny guy.
I'm waiting for
you. Better say something funny or I'm going to whip these eggs at you. Like, it's tough. And to bounce off that back to our last topic, nowadays, to do that and also be towing this line of what can I say that won't offend, or is going to offend the least amount of people. Or, like, comedy is just very hard because the other thing a lot of people don't understand is a lot of my comedy, like when I'm playing games and stuff, like someone said that like, oh, you need better. I'm like, me like saying fucking swearing at his game isn't my comedy. That's just me genuinely getting mad and baby raging because I suck at games. Because comedy, like, and especially when you're trying to do good articulated jokes and clean comedy is super difficult because that anybody can just sit there and be toxic and and say, you know, whatever, you know, shit cock ball, but that's not really that funny, right? Like you're just, that's reaction humor, I call it, right?
Right.
To formulate, like, true comedy is storytelling.
Yeah.
And to get, you know, like this great story and stuff like that, they just go. So I want to talk about, to end it off here,
Okay.
because I do have another topic, but it's kind of a bigger one. I think that we'll save that for when you come back another time.
Okay.
It's something that you've covered on your podcast before from your youth, something to do with a television series. You know what I'm talking about? We'll leave that for the teaser for them.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
With
Okay,
your dad.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
If that's cool with you, you want to do that?
No,
right?
that's fine. No, that's fine. I'm cool with that.
But I feel like we need a bit more time, right? We're getting an
Yeah.
hour and 15,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we'll do this one. Wait, what's this? My favorite. Wait, come on, Pan was a great movie. You mean Hook?
Hook. Yeah, Hook.
I don't get that. What's? Oh, because
Rufio,
Robin.
That's Robin Williams. Rufio.
Oh, okay.
That could be, but I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I took it
Lol,
the other way.
lol. Yeah, same. That's what I thought they were still talking about Bill Cosby.
Pago.
Yeah, Pago. Pog you, Exodus. That's good. Yeah, and Hook actually is a great movie. Come on, man. I like it.
You took it. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Just make sure we're on the same page. Man.
Yeah, we're all on the same page. So to end it off, we're getting near Halloween, and next week again, if you'd like, actually next week's podcast is kind of an open invitation. Whoever wants to hop on for a bit and cam up if they want, but I will be in costume. So if anybody wants to join me, because it will be the first ever Dirty Wolf Halloween podcast, because it's on Saturday on Halloween. So
Halloween, yeah.
It's got to be. I can't be like, hey, it's Halloween night. Welcome to the first ever Dirty Wolf Christmas podcast. How do you like my tree? I'm debating if we're going to get a tree this year, Chad, or just dress the doll up, put a bunch of lights on her, maybe get an angel on top. Could work.
Yeah.
So a couple years back, I want to say the year was 2017, but it could be 2016 because I'm also super papega and I don't remember shit. Time flies. Do you remember? Now I heard this might be making a bit of a comeback. I haven't heard as much of a buzz about it as we did back then. But what's your opinion on crazy clown people, Soul?
Yo, I remember when that came out, and like we legitimately had like I think there was a couple incidents in my neck of the woods, and people were freaking out. Like it was legit a thing, and I was like, I just don't understand it. I let me see somebody in a clown outfit trying to come get me. It's going. I'm not worried. I keep some things on me.
Yeah.
Like let them come and try.
Mm-hmm. True. I got to agree. I'm not gonna lie, it definitely kind of freaked me out, but I wasn't like always like out driving around. Like when I went out back then, I went like downtown. Like none of those guys gonna have the balls to go downtown to the party strip. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I had another buddy who was just terrified because he hates clowns and shit. But I said the same thing, and yeah, I'll say on here, you know, at Twitch, if this is bannable, ban me all you want. If you are dressed like a clown, and even if you're not one of these actual crazy people like chasing people with the bat, and you're just out trying to, like, if you can do it in a good troll, I've seen people do it like in a good troll. Like actually in my city right now, we got a guy who dresses up like Pennywise, and he just walks up and down the neighborhood. But he does it when the sun's out. He doesn't chase people. He just kind of walks up and down the sidewalk like a troll. Like if you walked up to him, he'd just walk past you. He doesn't chase you. So that's fine. But if you are dressed like a scary fucking clown with a baseball bat and you come at me, motherfucker, you best kill me or you're going to the hospital for sure, dude, because no shot. No clowns coming at me like that. Fuck that.
Right. Right. No, like I just didn't understand. Like I always laugh when I heard those stories, and I'm like, so are any of those clowns going to the hood? Like,
yeah, no.
Like I never heard any of those stories. Are they rolling up in the ghettos and in the hoods and doing that clown stuff? I don't think they would make it.
You know what that reminds me of, dude? Oh man, I don't know if you remember this, but a couple years back, the big fad on YouTube was prank channels.
Yes.
All these dudes with the prank channels. Hey, for your DMC free music, can you play Crazy Frog? Fucking doubtful, dude. I don't know. But
Gotta be a scary thought right there.
yeah, I'm going to just say no.
Yes.
Because even if it isn't, I'll just DMCA it myself.
Yes.
But it just reminds me, because he said, if you ever see him in the hood, I almost swear there was 1 or 2 YouTube videos of it, but obviously not much, because probably if any of them guys went to the hood, they weren't coming back. Like you said, but there was so a couple years back, like the prank channels were the big thing on YouTube. So there was a couple guys that were really big from it, right? And they were all always staged. And these other people didn't understand that these were staged, even though these guys denied it. It's obvious they were staged. So then you would get these other guys thinking, oh, maybe we can pop off and get big real quick, making a prank YouTube channel, but we're not going to stage it. And there's a couple people that did this, and they went to the hood and tried to pull pranks. Let me tell you.
Beat down.
Try pulling I'm going to kiss your girlfriend prank in the hood.
Not going to happen.
So this is more of an advisory moment of the podcast. Kids, when you see these fake prank videos online, do not, under any literally, because you will get your ass beat if you're lucky, okay? If you're lucky, you get your ass beat. If not, you get shot. Eric Andre was talking about, he was on, I think it was Steve-O's podcast, or I think it was Steve-O podcast. But you know Eric Andre?
Yeah.
Yep. So they're working on this movie right now. It's supposed to come out, I think, the end of this year, beginning of next year. It's coming out on Netflix. And it's kind of like similar to like a Jackass kind of like prank movie, right?
Right.
And he was talking about they went up, they were in the ghetto in, I don't know if it was in Chicago or right in the middle of Detroit. It was like, he said it was deep in the hood. Right. And he says... there goes. Sorry, Joe Fridge's comment got me. I don't get. What's your plans for tonight? Doing the prank. I got. So they did this prank where they were gonna walk into a barber shop in the hood, him and another guy, and the other guy too didn't want to be in this movie. He's like, no, dude, all your ideas are stupid. This is crazy. You're gonna get us killed. Eric Andre's like, no, it'll be fine. So the whole prank is they run into the barbershop together with their dicks stuck in a Chinese finger trap together. And he says they walk up in his barbershop.
Shake your head on that one.
And this dude just goes, oh, hell no, and gets his shotgun out and cocks it, and they ran their ass down the street so fast.
You do not play in the hood like that, bro. That's no. Don't do it.
I could just picture like an old, Chicago barber seeing these, Eric Andre and some other like white dude walking in with their dicks out. Just hell no, man, not in my shop.
Gotta go. You gotta go. We don't play that. We don't play that around here.
Oh, dude, that killed me, dude. I thought it was the funniest story I ever heard, man.
That's crazy.
Oh.
Man, people, they risk their lives. I give them kudos for having the cojones to do it, but there's just no way.
Risking your life for that content, dude.
Nah, bro. Some content ain't worth it.
Speaking about risking your life for content, I didn't even know till I started listening to the Steve-O podcast, which, guys, if you didn't know, Steve-O's got a podcast on Spotify, YouTube, all that's called Wild Ride. It's actually really good. They got Jackass 4 coming. Got delayed because of the whole coronavirus. But 2021, we're gonna see a Jackass 4, and I'm excited to see the boys get back together. That'll be good.
They are crazy.
Hell yeah, they're the best.
They're when it comes to extreme for content, there's no crew beating them.
Here's the thing. I think they're the most entertaining with it. There was. Once they hit big, there was other guys that came up and were doing shit. But some of the shit that they were doing was just so over the edge that it was like, for me, it's like, nah, now you're going too far. The Dude Sons were good. They were funny. They were cool. They did like human dartboard and shit like that. They've been in the Jackass movies. But there was another group. I forget their name, but like they had a dude drinking liposuction and shit like that. No shot. No. I don't want to watch that.
No, that's nasty, bro. No. It's got to be funny.
Yeah.
It's got to be funny.
Yeah, those dudes are all very like Johnny Knoxville's entertaining, right?
Yes.
That's how they also keep it going. So, all right, my man. Well, I think that's a good spot to end it off, unless you got any other questions or topics you'd like to bring up or chat. You know what? You guys got 30 seconds spam, and not like, do we like turtles and shit like that. If you got one or two serious questions, get them out now before we end the show. And then, I think we're going to call it a wrap, and we're going to I'm going to have a quick pee break, get out of my suit here, and then we're going to do some Among Us. That's right, chat. Soul's going to join us for a couple rounds.
Spam. Okay. Spam. Okay. All right.
No, the answer is no, I don't like spam.
No spam.
Hang on.
No spam. Okay.
All right. Hang on. Pretty. You're timed out. Wait, how do I do that? There we go.
There you go.
She's getting me so mad.
The best Lunchable, for me, the best Lunchable was the pizza one, the pepperoni pizza one. That was my favorite Lunchable.
You know what?
I'll still eat those now, to be honest.
It's been a long time since I ate one, but now I'm so I'm kind of like a fussy ass on a lot of stuff. So like everybody always says the nacho one. I don't think I ever had it, so I'd like to try. No. So I think
not for me anyway.
For me, it would have to be the. If I was gonna eat one now, it would either be. Tell her she can kill me later in Among Us. For me, it would have to be the build your own sub, or Ep.6. Don't listen to Ep.6, okay? You know what his game of choice is? RuneScape, okay? So for me, it's the build a sub or the just the regular old meat, cheese, and crackers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. I like the ham. The ham and cheese, that's not bad.
Hey, I got
pizza. Pizza's the best.
Now, do you heat it up or do you just eat it cold like that? Like, how's that work?
I eat it cold.
I remember being so excited for it as a kid, getting it and building it, and just the disappointment. I don't know if I've ever felt more disappointment in my life than that.
Because you're expected to be
actually
hot,
yes. I remember one more disappointing part in my life that was also related to pizza. Fruit roll-ups. It wasn't the fruit by the foot one, but it was, remember, they had the big square, and they had this one. It was, you can. It's a pizza. You take it out as a pizza slice, and there's little mushrooms, and you build it. Dude, you try to peel that shit and build a pizza slice. What? No, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't know what they thought that the cutout would be, because it's so sticky that I don't know if they accounted for that, but it didn't pan out well.
Yeah, you need a freaking paring knife or something. How do you believe the U.S. government and NATO should respond to the Iran nuclear? Yeah, we're not gonna touch that one. Quotes. Sorry.
No.
But oh shit, my last little question real quick is it's not even really a podcast question, but the podcast is gonna hear it anyways, guys. Dude, so the Sony is getting an exclusive mode on Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Oh man, are you a zombies fan?
Yeah, zombies are fun. And I'm just laughing because it's so funny that people are like raving about the Xbox, and now Call of Duty, and everybody loves zombies. Everybody loves zombies.
Yeah.
And now you have to get a PlayStation for the first year to get it.
Well, no. So it's not the regular zombies mode will be in all of them, but Zombies Onslaught is a brand new mode. So that's the exclusivity. Yeah. So what it's going to be, and for the chat don't know, so PlayStation is getting an exclusive mode on Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War called Zombies Onslaught. It's an all new mode where I think it's every or most of the multiplayer maps, like the regular multiplayer maps in Call of Duty Cold War, you'll be able to play them in 2-player co-op lobbies with one friend with zombies in there, and there'll be different missions per multiplayer map, kind of like it's like it. I think it looks hype, dude. I'm super excited for that. I think that's dope. So those maps that we played in the beta, you'll be playing on that with one other dude co-op, and it'll be like zombies. Now I don't know if it'll be a full zombies round or if it's X amount of levels and a boss or what, or maybe it's a full campaign, right? You got to play each level. There's zombies. Yeah, I don't know, dude, but I think either way, it's pretty hype, and I'm excited. I like co-op stuff like that, and especially more zombies content that's new and not so crazy where you're riding a bus around the country or whatever the hell that one map was. I think that's dope.
I think that they did a really good job with the zombie stuff this year. I don't know if you played it, But the Warzone zombie content this year was legit because in the zombie, I forget what it's called, Zombie Royale, you go out with it's teams of 3. You go out with the crew, and it's just like regular Warzone. But once you die, instead of the gulag, you turn into a zombie.
Yeah, I know. I haven't played it, but I want to. I really
that
want to.
thing is so much fun.
It looks so cool. I gotta play it for sure. I just kind of suck at Warzone, but I do want to play it. I got the download, and since it's the last week, we're probably gonna play it because I want to try and play something that's more Halloween themed this week, at least a little bit. Plus, we're gonna be doing a pirate cosplay stream one of these days, hopefully. And Joe the Fridge does though. This is an important question. I think we should do this as the last question. If you want to pass, you can pass. I'll start. Joe the Fridge says, what we really want to know is, are you a tits or a ass man? And then Joe the Fridge, I would say I used to always be a titty man, but now I think it's the booty. I think it's all about the booty because, I don't know if you guys have ever bedded any mothers. Because I've slept with mostly only mothers, and let's just say tits change a lot throughout life, and so can a booty, but it's a lot easier to tighten that booty back up. Let's just say that, and
okay,
yeah,
okay, that's agreeable.
I like the bounce.
Oh, I'm a tits man.
There you go. You got one each.
There you go.
My man.
Mind you, I'm let's just say this. I'm now a booty man that really, really appreciates a nice set of juicers.
Okay.
Big
elbows for you.
Big Butt Eater. Thank you for the follow. We just got a follow from Big Butt Eater. That couldn't be better timing. That's a big pog right there. Owen Wilson's gonna comment.
Wow.
There we go. All right.
All right.
That's been great, man. I appreciate you coming on, Soul. Everybody, can I get claps in the chat and hearts in the chat for my man Soul Unscripted? I got some of his links here in the Discord. I'm going to spam them in just a second.
Yes.
And, if you want to shout out where everybody can find you at, for your, I'm going to spam your regular links, but tell them about your podcast, where they can find your podcast and all that.
Okay, so my podcast is Soul Unscripted. Sorry, that's I can't even get my stuff right. So the Unscripted podcast, and basically the Unscripted podcast. If you've ever worked any place that did you have random conversation with your boys or your homies or your coworkers, and it's like yo, if you had to survive on an island, like what 5 things would you bring with you? And then me and my co-host, we discuss it. So it's a very wholesome podcast where we just talk about random things, and it's unscripted, so we never stay on topic. We'll start one way and we'll go around and talk about something else. You can definitely find my podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
links in the chat,
and then of course I do it live. So if you go if you go to my Twitch and follow it on Sundays at 9:00, I do my podcast. So tomorrow I'll do my podcast. And tomorrow we'll be talking about Halloween. So we'll be talking about all things that are Halloween, whether it be haunted houses, costumes, and candy and stuff.
Oh, is she still timed out? How long is her timeout? That's my bad.
She gonna be mad.
Whoops.
So, but yeah, you can definitely go there and check me out. All of my content's there, and all on my Instagram is, if you've missed any episodes, all of the there's 30-second clips of all the episodes on my Instagram.
Can you talk about the positives of eating ass? Well, unfortunately, I got to tell you, Big Butt Eater, the podcast is over for now, but after the break, I will give you my opinion on ass eating if you want, but you're not going to like it because I think that shit's fucking nasty. But that's the end of the show for today. If Soul wants to talk about it more next time or during Among Us here in a little bit, he can. Yeah. But Big Butt Eater, here's my, you know what? I'll give you a quick lowdown.
All right.
You know what? If you want to do what you want to do, that's to each their own. I don't judge, but for me, myself, I don't shit where I eat, and I don't eat where I shit. So it's just, there's enough holes I don't need anymore. I'm not that greedy. Plus, I had a really bad experience once where a chick tried to throw my dick like a baseball. I know that doesn't make sense. Believe me, it didn't make sense to me at the time, and I've had PTSD ever since. So I stay away from that hole, bro. I just slap the cheeks, and we're good. But that's me, man.
Hey man, he said it's good for your immune system. Hey, more power to you, my friend.
I got one other comment. Actually, I said this the other day. Okay, everybody when you say what I say, they're like, well, it's not dirty. We shower first, blah blah. Blah. You get prepared. You ain't always prepared, all right? I used to live the club life. You not gonna tell me that you're not coming home at 2 a.m. after the bar and being like, oh, I want you to eat my ass. I'm gonna go bleach and have a shower and do all this. No. You're coming in there sweaty off the dance floor saying, lick this dirty booty, and I ain't not fucking down with that shit, bro. No shot.
No shot.
No.
Ain't no hole like the booty hole. Hey, more power to you, my friend.
Hey, teach their own. Just me.
Yeah. No.
And plus, like, yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there. But Soul Man, again, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
No problem.
What